All right, we are recording. Hello, everyone. I'm LéTania Severe with King County Equity Now's research team, and I'm joined by
Shaun Glaze, they, them pronouns. It's also King County Equity Now's research team. Hello, y'all.
Hello. Yes, she, her pronouns for me. It's a tired morning today.
We're gonna make it. We could do this.
Yeah, we're gonna do it today. We're gonna talk a little bit about the budget. As you may or may not know, the City Council budget chair Mosqueda dropped the budget yesterday morning, so we went through to see what was there. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that we found and how they line up to the Solidarity budget. One of the things that we've been talking a lot about is the need for a new pre, mid, and post crisis response model for, to meet people's needs in a good way. Shaun, do you want to talk a little bit more about that? I know you've heard a lot from the research, what we're finding from the research, what people are asking for, what the community wants.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple quick points. One is that community obviously wants something different than you call a number so that someone with a gun shows up. Community's over that. And so one thing that we've been hearing a lot of is that people just generally currently, so many people don't call 911 because of that. And so what they would want is an alternative where community folks, especially local people, can respond. People who are trained, people who are ready, people who are there and can provide more comprehensive services. So just like you heard LéTania say, a pre, mid, and post response, we're talking about everything from, hey, like there's some type of disturbance or an argument or disagreement that I hear. It's, not at the level where it's an emergency for sure, but if I can get someone in here to do some conflict resolution, to do some mediation, I think we're going to be, healthier, safer, in a better position to thrive. And so also doing some preventative work as well, just kind of teaching about and providing support around healthy relationships across the board, whether that's interpersonal or more structural. So that's one thing. We're hearing a lot of that, and we're going to be having some more deep community conversations around designing that out. Because as y'all know, in the budget, we have 10 million allocated towards scaling up community responses. We also see some investments that have been made that are around crisis response that we think could be moved around to better align with what communities actually asking for. So that's really exciting. And then the post-crisis piece. So, someone has come, they've responded, and now there's still work to do, right? There's aftercare, there's a need to be able to really support people after the immediate crisis. We're not just talking about, showing up, moving people around, getting them calm and walking away. We're talking about providing more robust support and accompaniment. So that's a pretty big deal, and we're excited to be working on that this week. But LéTania, the Solidarity budget is also a really big deal. There's a lot that is in this new budget that seems to be in alignment. There's some pieces I think we're still trying to hunt for. What stands out to you for the Solidarity budget as it pertains to the budget that Council released yesterday?
I think, I'm going to kind of just go through it from the top. In divesting from SPD, there's some cuts. But it's clear that some of the cuts that were made in over the summer for the 2020 budget haven't gone through, and so they're kind of in here. So the cuts for 2021 are pretty small as far as personnel goes. There's 35 out of order layoffs, but I believe in the summer we were somewhere already at like 32. So
I think we'd planned on 32 before. Before. So you would expect there to be more than 35 to get to that 50%.
Right. So now we see 3 for 2021. Obviously, a substantial amount of the budget is personnel, and so while there are transfers, there's money being moved out of SPD into other departments, and some money moving out of SPD into a participatory budgeting process. Council needs to show, their true commitment to divesting from SPD by making some more substantial cuts to personnel, and we don't see that here. Let's see. I do know that talking with some of the climate justice folks, there's some areas where it looks like there wasn't funds to fund the Green New Deal's electrification and weatherization amendment to reduce emissions, but funds for other things. And so I think that it's important that we continue to demonstrate how climate justice is racial justice, and how this is unacceptable. We gotta be making sure that people are living in good environments, and that we're making the necessary adjustments and investments to provide, a good environment for all people. And so that was one that I think we got to work for. We do have to, Thursday, you can put in a Form C. We've gone through the Form A, the Form D process. Now we have this balanced budget. And so trying to get a Form C in to try and make some changes where we can get some of these investments put in is the work we have to do over the next 2 days.
Mm-hmm. And with the Green New Deal, we're looking really to make sure there's funding for electrification and weatherization to reduce emissions. That's a really big deal.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got on here. Increasing community access to dignified emergency shelter and affordable housing, and decriminalizing homeless services. It looks like the tiny home village funding is much less than was expected. We know that single occupant housing is just way better for people, especially in COVID, but also just relationally, as far as personal conflict and privacy and dignity, and being able to use your own bathroom and cook your food, and just have some space for yourself. And so we need to keep pushing for that as well. It's not okay to just throw people into congregate housing and just hope that everything's gonna with all the things that are already lacking as far as basic needs for those individuals. I think that's really important that we keep pushing for finding, the purchasing of hotels was something that, we saw was very, very positive outcomes for houseless folks over the last few months. And council acknowledges that, but it's not demonstrated in this budget.
Yeah, that surprised me. I don't know yet what it means. I'm hoping we'll hear more today at the budget committee meeting that's going to start this morning to find out what the rationale is there.
Yeah. And I think we continue to push for the participatory budgeting money to be that 100,000, that 100 million that the mayor has promised. But, we see the task forces, it looks like the task force is maybe getting 30 million, and participatory budgeting for the rest of everyone else is getting somewhere around 18 million. That doesn't seem equitable at all.
No,
so figuring
another
that
thing
out.
I'm hoping we'll get some clarity around, what is going on here. Please make this accessible for community to understand how to participate. Please just do that.
Yeah, agreed. So that's just kind of a quick snapshot. We do, unless you have anything else, we'll jump into some calls to action, and sound good. All right. The first one is tonight at 5. There's going to be a budget update, a 2021 Solidarity Budget update, where we kind of go through some of this, the stuff we discussed more in detail. And And so join us for that. We'll drop the link in the description. What else do we need folks to do?
New cops. No new cops.
That's
So
right.
as silly as it sounds to have to say this, given that council has made a commitment to defund police by 50, at least 50%, as
At
silly as to
least.
say this, they're still kind of like, what if should we get more cops? It's like, no.
Yeah. Should we? I mean, can we stop them from hiring cops? It's like, if you can stop them from hiring cops, which you can't do a hiring freeze. That's on the mayor, but you certainly can remove funds to hire additional cops. And council is not doing that. And so we need to keep pushing them to do that. We'll drop a link for an email that you can send directly to council members to push them to do what they need to do to pull out the money that would allow for SPD to hire more cops.
That's right. It's like, no new cops. Yes.
That's
new
right.
housing. Like, yes. New
That's right.
participatory budgeting, right? Just like there's so many things we want instead. Yes. Mental health, actual safety. So anyway, definitely support that campaign, share, and take action now and until they actually listen, which could be as early as tomorrow if like enough of us push them. So definitely get in on that. And as the last thing, the survey probably.
Yes.
Please continue to take the survey. We have over 800 responses, and it's really exciting to see people write such detailed thoughts for the last question in particular. So if you haven't, please do that so that we can read it and we can incorporate that into our findings. There's been a lot of really thoughtful responses around, or rather, like, to me, I've been thinking a lot about how people are feeling really fatigued after this election cycle. So I feel that. And also, like, this is probably one of the most important times in Seattle and King County because we are setting our budget priorities. So we are putting money on the table. So let's help influence that in any way we can. And with that, I'm just going to sign off. This is a long day ahead of us, but we got this, y'all.
That's right. All right. Until next time.
Until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.